The Second Amendment doesn't say the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, as long as you go through a government-mandated background check, pay fees, and wait for people who don't want you to have a gun to decide if you should have a gun. In America, we've become accustomed to background checks for firearm purchases, gun-free zones, magazine capacity restrictions, red flag laws, serial number registrations, waiting periods, and an endless list of other firearm regulations and restrictions. And not only have we allowed our government to infringe upon our right to keep and bear by allowing them to implement background checks, for instance, but we have allowed them to require government-issued permission slips to possess and carry firearms. I thought we were the ones who were supposed to keep our politicians on a short leash, not the other way around. As if that wasn't enough, the political left has been on a tirade, yelling and screaming for even more intrusive infringements by proposing outrageous ideas such as things like universal background checks. This means they don't even want you to hand down a gun to a relative or a friend or even share a gun at the range. When did my gun ownership become any of the government's damn business? Now let's go back to the basics for a minute. Why did our founding fathers write the Second Amendment? Well, it wasn't for hunting and it wasn't for target shooting. They did it because they wanted the people to be able to have the necessary firearm power to override, yes, override the government should it become necessary. How does it make any sense that we've given the government authority to determine the extent to which we can possess firearms? We've given the thief a key to the safe. Government is the problem. Government is the reason we have the Second Amendment. Yet it's the government that regulates the Second Amendment. You see, the problem is we've allowed one little infringement here and one little infringement there. We give them an inch and they take a mile. And this irresponsible behavior on our part for allowing such violation of our rights has brought us to the point where firearm infringements are normalized. Yeah, normalized. The average uninformed person isn't questioning the constitutionality of gun laws. They're asking, what new ones can we implement? What would James Madison say if we explained to him the process we now go through to be able to carry a firearm in public? Well, there are people in Congress who work every single day inventing new gun regulations, and we just sort of expect them now. Are you kidding me? There's nothing normal about this. There's nothing normal about us, the American people, going to government with hat in hand asking for permission to possess firearms. In some states, we have to ask permission to buy ammunition. There's nothing normal about us walking away from the gun shop unable to purchase the firearm we wanted because our government hasn't decided yet whether we should have that firearm or whether or not we can be trusted with that firearm. And we go home and patiently and obediently wait for their approval. Sometimes we wait for months to the point we give up and relinquish our rights altogether. Or in the case of Carol Bound, to the point where we go unarmed, defenseless, and helpless and get murdered while we're waiting. The media and the political left, along with some on the political right, have run away with a narrative that goes exactly against everything our founding fathers intended when they wrote the Second Amendment. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We should be embarrassed every time we walk into a gun shop and government-mandated cameras are watching us and recording our every move while we beg for what used to be a right, but now is nothing more than a government-issued privilege. Yet we wait in line and happily put our name on their registry. A right is inherent, and it's an entitlement given by God. The Second Amendment is just a reminder of that. A privilege, however, is something that can be given and taken away, and our government loves to take it away every chance they get. So we talk about the Second Amendment as a right. It's our God-given right. This is true. The problem is we haven't treated it like a right, and we gun owners are just as guilty as those who implement the long list of unconstitutional gun laws because we often let these infringements go unchallenged. Oh, someone else will fight for it, or there's nothing I can do about it. How did this happen? Well, we got complacent. We let the left build a dishonest narrative full of anti-gun propaganda, and we let them capitalize on deaths that they caused by disarming good people without the slightest pushback. We allowed it. Now we have a much more difficult task ahead of us. How do we get back to the Second Amendment actually resembling what our founding fathers intended it to be? We must fight harder. We must push back on every single infringement they come up with. I don't want to leave a country where my grandchildren live under communist rule. I don't want the Constitution rewritten in a way that all the power is taken from the people and given to government. I don't want my grandchildren or great-grandchildren asking me why I didn't do more. We have a great responsibility and opportunity right now to eliminate much of the unconstitutional gun laws and violations to our Second Amendment. Every single law is an infringement, every single one. And GOA understands this and has not been caught up in the acceptance or the normalization of gun laws. GOA despises every single infringement to the Second Amendment. There's a common thread among every conversation between GOA members, and that thread is the inherent belief that we will not compromise. Why should we? How does it serve us? It doesn't. I hope you're on board, and I hope you understand how far this has gone and how dangerous the political left has become with respect to our freedom. And I hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching Bullet Points. I'm Dan Wass for Gun Owners Foundation. You can find more Second Amendment content and updates at gunowners.com.